There is a number that rewired how the entire world talks to you. It changed how adverts get cut. It got into classrooms, into corporate training decks, parenting books, and I promise I'm not making this up, law journals. It has run in the New York Times, in Time, in The Guardian, in The Telegraph, in USA Today. A Harvard academic said it out loud on American radio. The number is 8 seconds. It says your attention span is now shorter than a goldfish's, and every single citation of it on Earth leads back to page 6 of a Canadian advertising PowerPoint. The report is 52 pages long. The world read 6. So how the heck did that happen? Right. Quick question for the class. What is an attention span? Because you think you know. You think it's a length of time, a little fuel tank, and when it runs out, you check your phone. That is not what attention is, and this matters. So stay with me for 90 seconds. Psychologists don't measure an attention span. They measure kinds of attention. Sustained attention, keeping focus on a boring, repetitive thing. Selective attention, holding focus while something else is trying to grab it. Alternating attention, switching cleanly between two tasks. Those are 3 different systems, and they give 3 different answers, and every one of those answers depends almost entirely on the task. Dr. Gemma Briggs at the Open University studies attention in drivers and in witnesses to crimes. Her position on the idea of an average attention span is that it's basically meaningless. How much attention you apply varies with what the task is demanding of you. You'll stare at a spreadsheet for 4 minutes and a film for 2 hours and a slot machine until the sun comes up. Same brain, same day. So when someone hands you one number, one single universal number in seconds, for the human attention span, they have not measured anything. They've measured nothing. There is nothing there to measure. It's a stat with no units. Now the fish, everyone knows goldfish have a 3-second memory. Where's that from? Nowhere. It has no origin. It's a playground fact. It's Mew being under the truck. It's the kind of thing that arrives in your head, fully formed at age 8 and never gets audited, because who's checking? And it's rubbish.
Yep.
We've known it's rubbish since the 50s. Goldfish learn feeding times, they learn locations, they recognize the person who feeds them, and they hold that for weeks and months. Professor Keelan Brown at Macquarie has spent 25 years on fish cognition and says, the science backing this up is over 60 years old. Here's the bit that should actually make you laugh. Goldfish are actually the model organism for studying memory formation. Neuroscientists use them specifically because they remember things. Professor Felicity Huntingford, who studied fish behavior for nearly 50 years, called that an interesting irony. She's being polite. The animal we use as shorthand for having no memory is the animal we use in the lab to study having a memory. Hold on to that thought for a second. It's about to get so much worse. Spring 2015, Microsoft Canada. Specifically, the consumer insights team inside Microsoft's advertising arm, aka the bit whose job is to explain Canadian humans to people who want to sell things to Canadian humans. And to be completely fair to them, they did real work. They surveyed 2,000 Canadians. They put 112 people in EEG caps and actually measured brain activity while those people did tasks. That is not nothing. That's a proper piece of commercial research. They then went looking for what it all meant, using those 3 types of attention, and here's what they got. Sustained attention depends heavily on what you're doing and how digital your life is. Selective attention, turns out heavy media users are not better at tuning out distractions. Alternating attention, people bounce to a second screen in the dead moments and come back more engaged, not less. 3 findings. All of them interesting, all of them nuanced. Not one of them is a headline. You cannot put "it varies by task" on a slide. There is no font for "it depends." And this deck needs an opening because it is going to be shown to advertisers, and advertisers need to be told that the thing they are buying is scarce. The report says this out loud, by the way. It says computing power is becoming limitless, and the truly scarce commodity now is human attention.
We need a number for the top, something that lands.
Like what?
I don't know. Maybe something with a friggin' animal in it.
Page 6, header across the top. We know human attention is dwindling. We know 3 bars, 12 seconds in 2000, 8 seconds in 2013, and a goldfish at 9. And at the bottom, in type, you could lose a coin behind 2 words. Source, statistic brain. Now, credit where it's due, they cited it. That's more than most of what came next managed. The source was right there. Anyone could have clicked it. Nobody clicked it. Statistic Brain was a website. It published numbers about things, and it listed sources for them, which made it look like an institution, which is the entire trick. For the attention span figures, it credited the National Center for Biotechnology Information at the U.S. National Library of Medicine and the Associated Press. In 2017, the Wall Street Journal asked the National Library of Medicine about it. A senior researcher there went looking and could find no reference to those statistics in either organization's publications. The journal asked the Associated Press. The AP couldn't find an article with the numbers in it. The BBC asked the same too. Same answer. Then the BBC asked Statistic Brain directly. Statistic Brain never replied. Not to the BBC, not to the Wall Street Journal, not to anyone. So this is where the story sits, and I want to be precise about it because precision is the whole point of this video. Nobody has ever produced a study. Not a bad study. Not a small study, there is simply no study. May 2015, Time Magazine runs it. You now have a shorter attention span than a goldfish. Then the Telegraph, The Guardian, USA Today, the National Post, the New York Times. Every one of them credits Microsoft. Because Microsoft is a real company, with real researchers and a real 52-page report, and the number was in it. The number was not from it, and now it duplicates. This is an item duplication glitch that never got patched. Every copy is indistinguishable from the original. Every copy is worth exactly as much, and there is no way to tell from the copy that the original was never real. It gets into a management book, it gets cited by a Harvard academic on the radio, it gets into peer-reviewed academic literature, it gets into legal scholarship. There were reports the NBA was thinking about shortening games because of it, and the marketing industry rebuilt itself around it. An entire decade of, you have 8 seconds, front load everything, cut everything, nothing over 6 seconds, nobody reads anymore. Whole content strategies, whole agency pitches, whole product roadmaps, resting on a bar chart with a fish on it. Nobody clicked the link. Then, February and March of 2017, two things happen a few weeks apart. The Wall Street Journal runs it down, so does the BBC's more or less. And between them, they don't just fail to find the study. They go and ask the people who study attention for a living what they make of the underlying claim. Edward Vogel, psychology and neuroscience at the University of Chicago. He's been measuring this in students for 20 years, and it's been remarkably stable across decades. Michael Posner, the man who mapped the brain networks that run attention in the first place. There's no real evidence it's changed since it was first reported in the late 1800s, not since 2000, since the 1800s. And on the fish, no evidence goldfish have short attention spans or memories at all. Hundreds of papers on goldfish learning going back over a century. The BBC found a reference to a study on fish memory from 1908, so by March 2017 the correction is out. It's in the Wall Street Journal and it's on the BBC. It is a hot fix, shipped, live, publicly available, and absolutely nothing happens. Because a correction is patch notes and nobody reads patch notes. February 2022, 5 years after the correction. The Policy Institute and the Center for Attention Studies. At King's College, London survey, the UK published. 50% think the 8-second claim is true. 25% correctly identify it as false. The myth is beating the truth 2-1, 5 years after it was publicly killed in 2 national outlets. Same survey, 49% feel their own attention span is shorter than it used to be. 66% think young people's attention spans are worse than they used to be. And when asked how often they pick up their phone, UK adults guess 25 times a day. Studies put the real figure at up to 80. Microsoft, for their part, have quietly taken the report down. Here's the part that genuinely annoys me. There is real research on this and it's been sitting there the whole time. Gloria Mark at UC Irvine has been measuring how long people stay on one screen before switching. With stopwatches in 2003, then with automatic logging. In 2004, the average was about 2.5 minutes. By 2012, 75 seconds. In recent years, 47 seconds. Replicated by other labs using objective measures on real people doing real work. 47 seconds. That is a real, measured, enormous change in how we work. It's about switching, not about capacity. Your ability to focus hasn't gone anywhere. Your environment is just yanking on it constantly. Nobody put that on a slide, because 47 seconds doesn't beat a goldfish. And speaking of which, in 2022, researchers at Ben Gurion University built a tank on wheels with a camera. That translated a fish's swimming into steering to test weather navigation skills. Transfer between environments, 6 goldfish, about 10 lessons each. They learned to drive it. Indoors and outdoors, around obstacles to a target. The animal we chose as our benchmark, for being too stupid to concentrate, can operate a motor vehicle. Jokes aside for a minute, 2/3 of adults believe young people's attention spans are worse than they used to be. That belief did not come from nowhere. It came in significant part from this, which means there is a whole cohort of people who have been told by teachers, by parents, by employers, by every article their aunt shared, that their brains are broken, that they are the goldfish generation, that they can't read a book anymore, can't sit still, can't finish anything, and it's a measured scientific fact about them. They believed it. Of course they believed it. It was in the New York Times, and it isn't true. It was never true. There is no study. There was never a study. If you've spent years thinking there's something defective about your head because of a number you read somewhere, that number was a footnote on a marketing slide, and the footnote pointed at nothing. You're fine. Your attention is fine. It's just that everything around you is engineered to take it. One more thing. Everyone read page 6. Nobody read pages 7 through 52. Because if you read the rest of that report, the part with Microsoft's actual research in it, you find the Consumer Insights lead's own summary at the front. And what she wrote was that the surprises in the data were all good surprises. That heavy digital users were getting better at processing information and encoding it to memory. That multi-screening didn't reduce engagement, it increased it. And that digital would not be the cause of our attentional downfall. Rest assured, the report that convinced the world our attention was dying was, in its own words, a report saying that it isn't. Nobody got that far. You made it to the end. That's 13 minutes. Take it up with Time Magazine. Sources are in the description. The BBC piece, the Wall Street Journal piece, the King's College survey, and the original report, which I would encourage you to read all of out of spite. Cheers for watching.